Hi guys! Alright, so I already made this video a couple of times, but I just did the Q&A video, and so now I feel a little bit better. The energies are flowing through me, so I figured I will try one more time. So Jennifer had asked how to do automatic writing and how to do so with the Pleiadians and how to decipher her thoughts from the messages that come in. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I've been doing a lot of automatic writing recently, but I've been doing it for years. And there was a long time that I wasn't even aware that I was doing it. So I was unconsciously doing automatic writing. So I can understand that feeling of how do I decipher thoughts from messages. Tonight I'm going to tell you how you can go ahead and consciously do your automatic writing so that you do bring in your messages. But if you're like me and you write and you like to write and you've done so in the past, if you've ever gotten into that flow of energy where the words are just coming, you're not really thinking, and it pours right out of you, then it is likely that you are channeling that in. Just like an artist would paint or draw, they're likely channeling it in. It's whenever you're able to reach that flow where you're not really thinking and stuff is just coming to you, you're channeling. And that is what I'm doing with the Q&A videos when I'm speaking. That is what I'm doing when I facilitate a meditation or hands-on healing. And that is what I'm doing when I'm doing my automatic writing. Now, I also have an addiction with notebooks, and I have this whole box up here full of notebooks that haven't been written in yet because I haven't committed them to a topic because I'm crazy. But I buy them because I think they're pretty and I just love them. But depending on what type of person you are, if you are old school like me and you love notebooks, then you're going to want to find the perfect notebook to do your automatic writing in. If you find that you flow more easily with a computer, with a keyboard, then it's totally fine to go ahead and open a Word document and allow your energy to come in on the computer screen. So, for me, part of it is creating a conducive space to do the automatic writing. The most important aspect of this is your intention, just like in all things that you do. Your intention is the biggest part of it. So you want to set your intention that, okay, I am going to do automatic writing, and then you're going to set your space to be conducive for that. So for me, I burn incense. I love the Nag Champa. I light candles. I get over here with all my crystals. I've told everybody in the past how labradorite is my amplifier to connect with the stars. So if I was to be doing automatic writing from the Pleiadians, I would surely have some labradorite with me. Then I go through my crazy amounts of notebooks and find the perfect one. Here's a small pile of the notebooks that I've been using recently. I just pulled these ones out of a box that I have. I have that box, but there's a box over there with some that have been written in from the past. And the reason I pulled these out, well, I was guided to pull them out, but the reason why I have them out for the video is to show you how you could be automatically writing and not even aware of it, because there's stuff in here I don't remember writing, but I wasn't trying to do automatic writing. And there's two versions of automatic writing in here. So I will show you that in just a moment. But back to setting your space, you want to create sacred space. So you want to cleanse the energies of your space, of your personal being, of your head space. If you're doing a notebook, you want to clear the space of your notebook. If you're doing computer, then you're going to clear your keyboard and everything. Now, depending on your personal preference, you can use Palo Santo, you can use sage, you can use your incense. If you don't have any of those things, you can use your intention. I prefer Palo Santo. The smell of it is much more pleasant to me than sage. Some people call it holy wood, and you can order this on shamansmarket.com. They send you a bag for $10. I've seen bigger pieces, like single pieces, sold for $1. And with Palo Santo, this is my little tiny one now because I've been using it a lot. You get your lighter and you get it going, and it will not continuously burn on its own. It only burns for a few moments. But you want to get the flame going. You want to get the smoke to come out. And again, I clear my head space. I clear my physical body. I clear the space that I'm in. I clear the notebook. When I'm doing work in the Moon Key, if I'm opening sacred space, I actually go to all of the directions and create a huge area of sacred space. With the new paradigm, I'm actually using a vortex. So that's what I'm going to show you tonight, is the vortex, which I've used in previous videos to connect with the Lyrans, but tonight I'm going to show you how we do it to connect for automatic writing with the Pleiadians. And that can be used for anybody. So you would set your vortex to connect with whomever it is that you are trying to connect with. So you kind of just change your wording around and the anchoring of it to a different spot or different area, whichever resonates for you. So the first thing you do is you ground your vortex down, all the way down, and you see it. I always see kind of like a tornado going right down into the earth, through all the rocks and the dirt, through all the layers, connecting with the heart space, the heart center of Gaia. And then you envision it coming up around you, expanding and spinning. And that's when we would ask Pleiadian Guides and Masters, the Pleiadian consciousness, to assist in anchoring the vortex all the way up to Alcyon, the brightest star of the Pleiades, the central sun. And we ask for the consciousness and the messages and the guidance of our Pleiadian Guides and Masters to come right down through the vortex, right into our own consciousness, so that we may channel it into writing. And it is as simple as that. You expand your vortex out, you speed it up to just under the speed of light for transmutation, so whatever is within your vortex that is no longer serving you is being transmuted out, and you are protected from anything outside of the vortex, and the only thing coming in is guidance and information from the Pleiadians. Now, say you wanted to do this with an ascended master or a particular guide, you could anchor your vortex to their consciousness. You could anchor it to the center of creation. You could ask to connect with the creator, a source, whatever resonates for you. That is all that you do. You connect it, you set that intention, you see it going to whomever it is that you want to connect with, and you protect yourself and clear the energy for straight communication from whomever it is you're trying to connect with. And so then I pull out my notebook, and then this is the one that I use for readings for other people when I'm doing automatic writing. And this is the one that I'm using for Alcyon light healing, which is a modality that's been coming in for years, and the synchronicity picks up every year around this time in November. I don't know if you're all aware or not, but the Pleiadian lineup happens in May and November, and it is a time when we're aligned in such a way that more influence is coming from the Pleiades right to the earth. So they do special projects and different things at this time, so you may find more synchronicity and connection with the Pleiadians if you have one. This is when my knowledge and information explodes and comes pouring in from them. And so I'm hoping this is the last year that all of this information comes together, because I'm now creating a manual and channeling the last bits and pieces to bring this modality to all of you. But this is the monster one that I like to do that in. It feels good, it's nice and big, it allows for me to just continuously flow. I don't have to stop, my hand doesn't cramp, I'm not running out of room. It works good for what I'm doing. Now this is good for one-on-one readings. It's a good size. The Line size is good. And again, if you are preferring to do it on a computer screen, that is totally fine too. But if you're old school like me, you're going to want to pick your pens. I enjoy the roller balls, and depending on who's sitting in front of me or the energies I'm feeling, it's either black or blue. And these again assist me. They have a nice fluid motion. And they're a good sized pen. They're kind of thick. My hands don't cramp. I'm able to just allow it to go quickly. So that is all I do for that. And the most important part is letting your mind go blank and allowing whatever pops in to be written down. So you try to clear your thoughts, clear your influence. Do not have any expectation going in. You shouldn't go into here thinking that you're going to write a whole novel in your first try, because then you're going to be disappointed when you may only receive one word or a number or a symbol. But whatever comes, trust it. It's just like when you receive that gut feeling. Say somebody tells you something and you're instantly hit with that, don't do that. That's your intuition. That is guidance from elsewhere that you're allowing to come in, and when you don't trust it, you usually regret it. So, again, when doing this work, you trust the words that are coming to you. And automatic writing is a form of claircognizance, which is clear knowing. So you're just knowing the words and writing them down. If you're not somebody who's specifically working with that a lot, maybe your gift lies with clairvoyance, where you are able to see more clearly, then you could ask your guides to show you the words. If you hear clearly, then you could ask them to tell you the words. If you feel clearly, then you could try to take the feelings that you're receiving and turn them into words. So say you feel an expansion of your heart. You could say there's an expansion of love. Say you feel tingling in your third eye. You could say there's a shift in the frequency of vision. You want to put words to what you're feeling. And that will help you build your energy, build your connection. You'll be practicing, bringing in more confidence, feeling and understanding what it is like for you to do automatic writing. And the more you do it, the less you'll have to think about it, and it will just flow. So you're strengthening your claircognizance by utilizing your other gifts. And we all have these gifts. Nobody is excluded. It's just whether or not they're really turned on and activated. And by doing activities like this, you're turning them on, you're activating them, you're exercising them, because we've come into this life with all of them, but through conditioning and years of not tuning into them, they've fallen away. So the more that you sit down and you set that intention and you clear your space and you connect, the more you're going to strengthen your connection. And for me, I know when the Pleiadians are there because I work with them so often. And in the beginning, it was outside of myself. And it would just be a feeling like, oh, I think they're there. And I'd go out and sure enough, there'd be a light ship there. Well, now, because I've done the channeling, I hear them. And it doesn't matter if I'm going to be writing it or if I'm going to be saying it. I always hear, we are here. And when I hear those 3 words, I know they have a message for me. And it's gotten to the point now where they'll repeat it over and over until I go sit down and write it or say it to somebody. And so, depending on the urgency of the message, they may repeat it a lot, very rapidly. But you'll get to know your guides. You'll get to know what you work with the best. You may not receive a lot of information from the Pleiadians. And if so, maybe your energy and frequency would be better suited to the Lyrans or to an ascended master or to your higher self. It doesn't matter, but you're going to want to trust your intuition and your inner knowing and work with this and see who you're going to receive the most from. And so once I've done all that and I clear my mind, I just allow what comes to come. Now say all you receive is a word. Say you receive a number, 33, and you don't get anything else. Well, you don't want to analyze that until you're done. Give yourself 10 minutes and sit there and say you get 33. You write it down and you sit there for a few more minutes, and if nothing else comes in, it's just 33 over and over, well, then you can go Google, what is the meaning of 33? And there's thousands of interpretations, so you don't just pop on the first one. You want to let your intuition guide you through that list and go with the one that feels right and read what the interpretation of 33 is under that. And if that message resonates, then you can add that message to your automatic writing, and now you've received your message through the form of automatic writing. Say it's a symbol, same thing. Try to see if you can find that symbol, see what the meaning is. Maybe it's a color, maybe it's an animal, so you would go look up the totem of that animal. There's going to be messages delivered to you no matter what. It's just a matter of you seeing it, recognizing it, trusting it, and taking the steps necessary to strengthen and move through this and build and practice and gain confidence. And in the beginning for me, because I've been writing my whole life, I didn't know that what I was doing was automatic writing. And not all of my writing has been automatic writing. And it is presented to me in different ways. I'm going to read this because it's an example of how it has shifted over the years. So in the beginning of this book, I pulled it out one night, I guess, and just started writing. And you can see my handwriting on this page is a little bit different. This is when I start writing, and then the energy shifts, and you can see the writing changes, and the energy of these words change, and the message is clearly coming from somewhere else. So I'll read this to you. I have been feeling like I should start writing. I'm not sure what or why, but it feels important to do so. I have always written in my entire life. I can't really remember a time I didn't write. Lately, I haven't been writing at all, and I guess I just have the build-up in me that needs to be expressed. For as long as I can remember, I have had knowledge of Atlantis, and today I realize that I really have no idea why I should have had any idea of what, or even when I started to express my knowledge of Atlantis. I have always had an image in my brain, ingrained of how I assume it looks under the water, and still teeming with mystical positive life. A home to dolphins, fish, beautiful coral and reef, and of course mermaids. A huge, beautiful golden palace is at its center, and it's sparkling and bright, even located deep under the sea. The growth of sea life and natural growth among its majestic structures only add to its beauty and grace. Like the flow of water, so is the flow of energy within this place, full of unconditional love and light, and just truly amazing. A real piece of heaven is here under our feet, under our fast-paced, ego-driven, greedy, mixed-up world. And throughout history, an image of hell has been associated with being underground, and heaven within the clouds. However, if you think about it, under the sea is truly a beautiful heaven on earth, full of mystery, history, and full of so many life forms working together. It's an incredible system of life. From the dawn of light to the last moments of night, it's all playing its part in the ocean. From microscopic organisms to the largest animals found on Earth, not a spot in the sea goes unused. It has a purpose and continuously regenerates throughout the sea. Not even death ends any aspect of life, for the simple fact whomever dies is quickly used in the progression of another's life, which feed upon the deceased. A constant cycle of birth, death, growth, and reuse is the most incredible aspect of the deep ocean mysteries. And so you see how it shifted from the beginning of not knowing what I was writing at all to touching into Atlantis to this deep understanding of the connection of all things within the sea. And so that is information that's coming from somewhere else. And it goes on for a few more pages. And on the last page, it starts to shift into a poem. And I receive automatic writing in the form of poetry quite often. And back in school, I can remember if you asked me to write a poem that rhymed, it was going to take me some time. It doesn't do that anymore. I can write them basically within a few minutes. And if you go to Beecreativelyou.com, the dolphin poem is published on the website, as well as some of my other poems that have all been given to me through automatic writing. And the videos on my YouTube channel, the Womb Goddess and the Goddess of the Earth, were also automatic writing. So I set the intention to receive a poem from my friend, Darnell, who is the Goddess of the Earth. And later, after doing that one, I asked for my friend Sherry, who does a lot of womb work, and she got the Goddess of the Womb. And so those were delivered to me within minutes. I wrote them down through automatic writing, and then I created the video. So you may have automatic writing come to you in the form of poetry. It may start off as your thoughts. And if you just allow it to flow, and you trust, and you just move with it, you might receive a message of importance, of deep wisdom, of healing and expansion for yourself. And lately, I've been finding more and more of these notebooks full of information that all correlates with Alcyon and the Pleiades and healing and channeled bits and pieces that are going to be added into the big manual for Alcyon light healing. And so it all connects. So it is a good practice to get into, because you'll have somewhere to look back and to see where you started. And as you move forward, you may be guided to just one day go back and pick up a book and read something you wrote a long time ago that was given to you from somebody else, and it will totally fit into what you're doing in that moment. Another part of this whole Alcyon light healing thing is the sevens. 7777777 is constantly coming. Well, one of those little synchronistic moments is in one of my books, one of my many notebooks, I found a piece of paper that told me the date of my Reiki 1 attunement, and that was 7/7/14. Well, when you put 7 and 7 together, that equals 14, and anytime I hear 7, I think of the Pleiadians. So it was another bit of that synchronicity for your healing and Alcyon light healing and the Pleiades. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's written in weird writing, but July 7th, 2014. And I can't even see it because it's dark over here. Oh, it is right there. 7/7/14. So it's just little things like that will stick out for you. And my synchronicity is always whoa to me, but it's not going to be whoa to other people because it's not their synchronicity. But it's cool to pull notebooks out that you haven't used. This is a box that is full of notebooks, and this is a box full of notebooks. And I hope that this video helps you to trust, to connect, and to really start doing automatic writing for yourself so that you can gain wisdom and insight from outside of yourself. And you can even ask to connect with your higher self to receive messages for your own highest good. It doesn't matter what comes through. Do not analyze it when it's coming. Just allow it to come in, and it will, I guarantee you, hold some light for you. And if it doesn't make sense within that moment, give it a little bit of time, because it might make sense way down the line. I'm sure that whenever I wrote this, I had no idea. And now looking back, I actually pulled that one out the day that I was doing the Awakening Atlantean Memories meditation. So I actually brought that with me to read to the people who came to that meditation, because it was that synchronicity of Atlantis. So it's constantly playing in my life now, and there's just an expansion of synchronicity all the time. But it's because I take the time to practice and connect and do things that I didn't know how to do, and to just continuously try and allow. And that's all you've got to do. There's nothing, you don't have to be special to be able to do this stuff. You just have to have that intention and allow it to flow through you. because each of us are special. We all have these gifts. It's just a matter of turning them back on and trusting. So I hope this helps you guys, and I hope you have a great night. And if you have any other questions for me, put them in the comments, and I will be making a video to tell everybody all about Alcyon Light Healing and the little bits and pieces that I can tell now, because I'm waiting until it's completely done its entirety before I give out too much of the information, and I have been told to get it copyrighted. So have a great night, guys.